been like, you know, bred into us, that we think that there's something wrong with our hair, or we think that our hair is not manageable unless it's straight, or we believe that somebody won't find us acceptable. And I have to say that a lot of this has to do with the men in our community also, that they believe a certain look is only attractive, and this education has to come from men and women. It can't just be women, because we want to be attractive to the opposite sex. Many of us do. So they were also brainwashed. They have these same issues. They are grappling with these same issues, and their comments affect the females. So like in our book, we talk about how little black boys want straight hair, right? Like we talk about little black boys hating their kinky hair. The same conversations that we don't see it written about because it's just not, you know, people don't want to talk about boys and beauty, but it's the same thing. And they are impacting what black women think about their hair, because a lot of women will say, well, I would go natural, but my boyfriend, but my father, but my husband, oh, he wouldn't like it. And he has a lot of the same hang-ups that a lot of women have to overcome to get there. So the only other part about the book that I haven't really talked about is how much the business has impacted the black community. And the black people have dominated the hair business since they came to the shores of the United States and the Caribbean. Before they were doing black hair, black people were doing white people's hair and making a lot of money. Yeah. And they founded a lot of the first black universities in the United States. A lot of money in the black community comes from hair. And so that industry obviously had been owned by black people, and then it was sold into white hands. And then with the natural hair movement though, we're seeing a repeat of the same thing, where we're seeing a lot of female entrepreneurs who have been able to take advantage of the internet to create their own products, sell them to their own community, and really make a lot of money. We're seeing new Maverick CJ Walkers of the 21st century, from Carol's Daughter to Oyen Handmade to Miss Jessie's. There's all these new companies now that are helmed by black women that are really exciting, in that they are capitalizing on the movement because they understand how important the natural hair movement is. And now mainstream cosmetic companies are doing the same thing, but of course they're following. They're not starting this trend at all, which is really exciting to see. And I think that that's the other kind of large element of this story, is how black hair has also sustained this community financially, and that's a whole nother, you know.
Alors, yeah, it's another story. Let's see with Milca in French now. Milca, toi, en fait, t'es partie en fait de ton blog parce que t'as fait le Big Chop. Donc, pour ceux qui ne savent pas c'est quoi le Big Chop, je me répète, c'est vraiment tout coupé. Alors, pourquoi
10 ans, un truc comme ça. Mais je pense que je rejoins énormément ce que ma collègue disait, c'est-à-dire que le plus important, à la base j'ai fait ça vraiment parce que j'étais curieuse. Genre je me disais, ah mais ça fait quoi de prendre soin de mes cheveux naturels? Puis je m'ennuyais, je me suis dit, tu sais quoi, j'en sais pas. À travers mon blog, je veux vraiment montrer qu'on a le choix. Comme elle dit, c'est vraiment genre de se libérer, d'être à nouveau libre, mais pas en mode oh yeah, I'm pro-black and everything. Genre, je veux vraiment, genre, c'est mes cheveux, c'est comme ça que je suis et c'est comme ça que je sais m'en occuper. Et je veux pas que les gens se sentent oppressés en se disant oh, si tu retournes à naturel, tu fais partie d'un mouvement. C'est genre comme si tu rentrais dans quelque chose dont tu peux pas sortir. À chaque fois, j'explique que si vous voulez revenir au naturel, c'est possible. Si tu veux repartir à ton épisode aussi, c'est possible, tu as le choix. Mais toute l'importance de tout ça, c'est de te donner l'information qui te dit voilà comment sont tes cheveux, voilà l'histoire de tes cheveux. D'ailleurs, ce livre, je vais l'acheter.
I'm
gonna buy the book, definitely. Et voici l'histoire de tes cheveux, apprends ce qu'est ta culture, qui tu es finalement, et own it. Vraiment own it. Et après, quand tu l'as, quand tu as pleinement possession de toi-même, bah, tu peux faire tout ce que tu veux finalement, remettre des briques si tu veux, mais rare sur ceux qui font ça. Mais je veux dire, parce que finalement, comme elle dit, c'est tellement versatile. Tu peux avoir les cheveux raides. La semaine dernière, j'avais les cheveux raides. Aujourd'hui, je les ai en afro. Mon afro, elle peut être très 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 petit quand je mets de l'eau. Donc, et là, ça fait que 2 ans que j'ai mes cheveux, que j'ai rasé ma tête et que maintenant ils sont à cette longueur. Donc ça pousse. Mais il faut avoir de nouvelles habitudes, en fait, de prendre soin de ses cheveux. C'est-à-dire que moi, j'ai grandi en Europe. Et à la télé, ce que je voyais, c'était des filles qui lavaient ses cheveux comme ça, sous la douche. Si tu fais ça là, tu meurs.
She said she grew up like in Europe where
People were washing their hair like this, and you don't have to do this with natural hair, otherwise you're gonna have like tons of knots anyway. Donc voilà, c'est tout un apprentissage qu'il faut avoir, et toute l'information qu'il faut. Enfin, maintenant, avec Internet, vous ne pouvez pas dire ouais, mais je ne savais pas. Parce que finalement, quand vous mettez du défrisage sur vos cheveux, vous savez que vous mettez de la soude. La soude, c'est ce que les gens utilisent dans le bâtiment pour faire les murs. Donc vous mettez ça sur vos cheveux, puis il ne faut pas s'arrêter. Donc c'est tout un... Et puis, je ne sais pas si elle en parle dans le livre, mais moi, quand j'ai commencé à faire mes recherches sur le cheveu naturel, je me suis dit, mais comment ils défrisaient leurs cheveux avant? Ils n'avaient pas genre Carol's Daughter ou Canelia ou genre tous les olive oil et tout. Comment ils faisaient? Et en fait, c'était... on m'a raconté l'histoire, c'était que quand on prenait les Africains d'Afrique, en général ils partaient du Bénin par exemple, on les prenait sur le bateau et le temps d'arrivée du bateau aux États-Unis, ça mettait plusieurs mois. Là. Donc ils étaient calés dans les soutes des bateaux et leurs cheveux étaient tout emmêlés, tout pas coiffés, ils n'avaient pas l'occasion ou le temps et pas dans les conditions forcément pour faire leurs cheveux. Donc en fait leurs cheveux étaient vraiment genre emmêlés, tout dégueulasse. Et ce que les Blancs faisaient à leur arrivée pour que les Africains paraissent le plus présentables possible, c'est qu'ils plongeaient leur tête dans de l'acide. Et en plongeant la tête dans l'acide, ça faisait genre comme... Oh, ils se sont rendus compte de ça. Oh, quand tu plonges tes cheveux dans l'acide, ça les rend genre... Ça les crame, mais ça les rend genre comme lisses. Donc du coup, c'est comme ça que l'histoire du défrisage a commencé. Ils se sont dit, oh, ok, ça marche avec l'acide, on va créer ça avec la soude, puis de fil en aiguille, on en est là aujourd'hui. Mais ce qu'il faut savoir, c'est qu'au-delà de l'aspect politique, de ce que représente le cheveu noir aujourd'hui, il y a aussi l'aspect santé. C'est-à-dire que, je ne sais pas si vous connaissez l'histoire de Samson et Dalila. Non?
Moi, je la connais.
Tu la connais? C'est une histoire biblique un peu qui explique en fait que Samson, il trouvait toute la force dans ses cheveux. Il ne coupait jamais ses cheveux parce que vraiment Dieu lui avait donné la force à travers ses cheveux. Et personne ne comprenait pourquoi est-ce qu'il avait cette force incroyable. Et Dalila, en fait, c'était la femme qu'il avait choisie. Et elle l'a trahi, elle a coupé ses cheveux. Et c'est là où finalement, c'est juste une métaphore pour dire que les cheveux, comme elle disait tout à l'heure, c'est quelque chose qui est très 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 utilisé en Afrique pour tout ce qui est vaudou. Je vais dire le nom, le vaudou. On a vraiment cette culture du cheveu, en prendre soin. C'est aussi un lien qu'on a avec notre mère, qu'on a avec nos cousines, nos sœurs, et on met vraiment des produits naturels dessus, le beurre de karité, le beurre de menthe, l'huile de baobab, tous les produits vraiment naturels. Donc, et ça pénètre à l'intérieur du corps, que l'on le veuille ou non, le cuir chevelu, ça a vraiment une épaisseur vraiment fine, et tout ce que tu mets sur ta tête pénètre à l'intérieur de ton corps et puis rentre dans ton sang. Donc quand tu mets de la soude, à long terme, ça a été prouvé que ça peut développer des cancers, et on ne sait pas vraiment pourquoi. C'est pour ça que j'ai lu récemment aussi une recherche qui avait été faite sur les produits que tu mettais au bébé Johnson & Johnson, pour ne pas citer leur nom. Mais c'est tout ce que tu mets en fait sur ta peau rentre dans ton sang, et à long terme, tu te rends compte que ouais, mais j'ai développé un cancer au sein. Pourquoi? Tu sais pas pourquoi, mais c'est une accumulation de plein de produits toxiques que finalement tu continues à mettre sur ta peau, sur tes cheveux, que tu bois, que tu manges, etc., qui finalement te développent ce genre de symptômes-là. Donc au-delà du simple fait que ça soit quelque chose qui soit quelque chose de politique, moi personnellement ça m'a ouvert les yeux sur ma santé, c'est quelque chose que j'ai pas envie c'est quelque chose sur lequel j'ai envie de capitaliser parce que bon, j'ai une vingtaine d'années maintenant, mais je veux encore être en bonne santé dans 50 ans et c'est pas parce que je veux mettre du défrisage sur ma tête pour ressembler à des dictats que la société nous a dit, oh, tu dois être belle comme ça, ou parce que tu ne peux pas aller au travail coiffée comme ça, bah, que je vais mettre ma santé en péril en fait. Donc c'est un peu pour ça que j'ai commencé, donc vraiment pour transmettre de l'information et pour dire à toutes celles qui ont envie de le faire que c'est possible, ne vous prenez pas la tête plus que ça, ce sont des cheveux, oui aujourd'hui ça définit toute ma personnalité, aujourd'hui moi sans mon afro, ce serait pas vraiment moi je vais dire parce qu'aujourd'hui c'est grâce à ça que finalement mon blog a grossi, que j'ai les opportunités que j'ai aujourd'hui, que j'ai pu faire un shooting avec des marques internationales, parce qu'ils ont choisi une texture particulière et parce que oui, effectivement, c'est un mouvement, qu'on le veuille ou non, c'est quelque chose qui bouge et c'est pas mal, c'est pas mal de dire que c'est un mouvement, que c'est un trend, que ça va évoluer parce que c'est une manière de dire que finalement les gens s'en rendent compte, l'information arrive aux bonnes personnes et que les gens commencent à réellement se poser des questions et de pas juste dire ah bah c'est comme ça. Tu sais, genre tu as ton enfant, je vois des mamans qui aujourd'hui ont leurs enfants, puis elles me disent bah non moi c'est bon là, j'ai pas envie de me prendre la tête parce que je sais que quand je vais faire les cheveux à mon enfant, ça va lui faire mal, puis on va crier, on va avoir un mauvais moment. Puis on a tous ce souvenir là d'avoir ce moment horrible quand tu vois le peigne arriver près de ta tête et te dire oh non mon Dieu je veux pas de ça ou genre voilà. Mais c'est parce qu'on n'avait pas l'information, on n'avait pas les bons produits, on n'avait pas les bonnes techniques. Et honnêtement, pour vous dire, ça fait 2 ans que je prends soin de mes cheveux et je me prends vraiment pas la tête là pour démêler. Il faut juste y penser avant, puis prendre les habitudes, faire rentrer les habitudes dans ses habitudes de vie. Et c'est pas plus compliqué qu'autre chose et ça coûte moins cher. Voilà.
C'est vrai que ça va coûter moins cher. Meaning, like, I've seen the girls now, there's a movement called napex, which is the extreme natural nappy kind of chick. And they go crazy. Well, you know what? Who am I to tell them they're crazy? No, not that they're crazy, but I think they're, to see a girl like me with weaves, to them it's just like, I'm going back to slavery, or I'm going back to segregation. So what do you think about the nappy movement sometimes going too far?
I don't know if the term
Napex.
we use the term the natural Nazis because they're so extreme in policing other people's hair, which is what I was saying when you said, are you part of the movement? And I respectfully decline to say I'm part of the movement simply because I think the move, becoming part of this group, I'm not sure what defines the group. I mean, I went natural 20 years ago. Before it was called going natural, it was called I stopped perming my hair. There was no name for it, there was no big chop and all this stuff, which is, again, I think that's a good thing to have this community built around this experience, but this idea of policing other people or assuming I know what's going on because you're wearing a weave or because you're, I've seen people, yell at even Michelle Obama because she should be wearing her hair natural, which we don't really know Michelle Obama's hair is natural or not. We just know it's straight, right? She could just have a good pressing comb, right? We do not know. And yet there are people who are, why can't she go natural? I have my own opinions on that, but
tell us.
Yeah, because I just think that America is not ready for natural hair first lady. I mean, they still have so many negative ideas.
Natural hair first lady. That's so interesting.
It's true. They would be like, she's they would have so many things to say.
Because natural hair doesn't fit to that
there's
position.
I know you guys know that Donald Trump is our Republican nominee.
I know, it's terrible.
So that should show you that there's a lot of stupid white people. Sorry. there just are. And so those same people would look at a natural-haired Michelle Obama and probably have her, you know, secretly killing people, like being Black Panther, you know, poisoning chiefs of state with, you know, like they would have all kinds of things. When the first daughters, Sasha and Malia, were younger, they wore their hair in twists sometimes, and people, when I say people, I mean Republican extremist conservatives, said all kinds of things like, how dare you let them out of the house looking like that. I mean, really, it was extreme. And these were just little girls at that time with twists, you know, nothing that you would even think twice about if you knew anything about Black girls and their hair. But I think Michelle made a very strategic decision not to wear her hair natural, just so that she could keep people, you know, focused on all the other things that were wrong with her, like her arms, or how tall she was, or how smart she is, or all these other things that she has to contend with that are absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, from a strategic point of view, I'm sure she had advisors who were like, should I, shouldn't I, what do you think? And I'm sure it was a decision to just let's not give them one more thing to talk about, or one more piece of ammunition to make them think that the Obamas are anything else but two regular people who do regular things. So I just think that was a decision to just lay low in that sense. And I do think that, again, there are a lot of people on social media who, you know, Michelle should go natural. And there's even a picture of her with the natural hairstyle that they started passing around, and it went viral, and everyone was like, oh my God, look at how beautiful she looks. Oh, Michelle. And then it was like, that's not a real picture. That was photoshopped, you know. But it was amazing how excited people got just seeing Michelle with like a twist out, right? Like they were so excited, which it's kind of cool that if she had done it, if you imagine the power that would have had in terms of normalizing natural hair, but that instead of the Let's Move campaign or helping veterans, she would have been like, I'm all for natural hair. That's my whole campaign for my 4 years or 8 years in office. I'm going to teach people how to be okay with natural hair. And then a lot of white people would have been like, and how did that help me? Like that just wouldn't have worked for her. Yeah. It just would have been too distracting. And I think that that's where a lot of people are in the world today, is people who are, you know, newscasters, people who are in the public eye. Even if they wanted to go natural, they've been told that it's too distracting. Too many people still have ideas of what natural hair means, which is crazy. I mean, like I said, this is my 4th set of dreadlocks, and people still think, you know, I'm a Rastafarian, that I'm a vegetarian, I must be a good poet, like all of these things, none of which are true, sadly. I love pork, I'm not a Rastafarian, like, I'm not a vegetarian at all. So, and they still, which boggles the mind, but people still see an afro and think revolutionary. They still think you're not going to fit in.
But isn't it like the nappy hair? Isn't it that? Revolution.
It's more of a personal revolution, though. I mean, it's no different than somebody becoming a vegetarian, right? Like, who feels, hey, guess what? I feel so much better. My body feels nicer, and I'm saving money at the grocery store. It's the same thing with natural hair, right? It's like, look, I'm not spending so much money. I have time, and I can go out in the rain, and it's okay. And you feel great, and you're super happy, but it's totally internal. Like, nobody knows you're a vegetarian. Like, it doesn't change anything about you. You just feel better. Maybe they will say, hey, you lost weight. You're like, yeah, I'm vegetarian now. Like, I look better. Your skin looks good. Yeah, I don't need meat. Meat was good for me. Like, it's a total personal choice. And when you become a vegetarian, everybody does, even though you're like, I feel so good, I want you to be a vegetarian, like you're telling everybody about it. It's the same thing when you go natural. You want everybody to go natural with you because you feel good about it, but it's still your choice, right? It's still somebody's personal choice. if somebody tries to make me go vegetarian, I'm like, I want a hamburger right now. Like, I don't want you to force your beliefs on me. And it's the same thing, I think, with this, you know, taking it back to this idea of like the natural Nazis or the very extreme aspect of the movement. I think when anybody feels that they have discovered some kind of truth, they want everybody to come along with them. And that's why I liken it to a religious movement. You know, when you find Jesus or whatever, when you find it, you want everybody to come along with you, and you can get extreme about it, and you can feel like they're gonna burn in eternal hellfire if they're not coming along with you, because it's such a strong feeling to recognize. You know, I think it's to a lot of people, it feels like a real epiphany, like, oh my gosh, my hair is fine just the way it is. It's beautiful just the way it is. It looks lovely just the way it is. I can manage it. I can run in the rain. I can swim. I can do all these things that I never was able to before. So shouldn't everybody feel that way? And that's when I think that's where that comes from, is people wanting everybody to feel that way, and understanding, again, that a lot of people now understand how much brainwashing came with this idea of their hair has to be straight. But they also don't know the other side of that story, which is that Black people have always been adorning their hair. They have been doing all kinds of intricate things with their hair. So just because I like my hair straight doesn't mean I'm trying to look white. It's because or because I want my hair blonde. I just wanted to see what I would look like blonde. I mean, I know if I go blonde, I am never gonna look white. Like, I just, you know, like, my hair blonde is not gonna make me a dead ringer for, you know, this white person. I'm gonna look different, that's all. Or if I want my hair pink, right? Like, I'm not trying to look like Rainbow Bright. Like, I just want pink hair. And so, again, that's why I think it's so important to understand the history, that we have always used our hair to express who we are. And so, just because white people have long hair or straight hair, I'm not mimicking that. I'm, you know, doing it for myself. And people need to understand that we have those choices. And again, I think there's obviously a difference between somebody who says or who understands that, and then the little girls who you still hear like spending all their money because they believe they're ugly unless they have straight hair, or putting a weave on a 2-year-old because mommy thinks their hair is not manageable.
Did you talk about this on Tara Beck's show?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yes.
She was on Tara Beck's show, by the way.
Yeah. But that's when you hurt. That's when you want to make everybody a vegetarian, because when you see the kind of, you know, and these are the stories we're still hearing. I had to put a little, my daughter wanted her hair to be moving like her classmates, so I gave her a weave, and she's 3, right? Or I'm putting braids, you know, 100 pounds of hair on my 4-year-old's head, or giving her a relaxer at 3, because I can't do anything with her hair. And that to me is tragic.
But
that's tragic.
But if they have that discussion, whatever, that means maybe is it tough to take care of the natural hair? Do you find it's tough?
I think it's, I absolutely, and this is, you know, that's such a good question, because if anybody tries to say doing black hair is easy, or that it doesn't take a lot of time, that's not true. In today's society, it's not true, unless you have your hair, like, cut. I have a friend who's Kenyan, and when I told her, well, people put braids in their hair, or their children's hair, or put a weave in it, or straighten it, because that's the only way that's the easiest way to do their hair. She was like, in Kenya, we just shave the hair. That's the easiest way to do the hair. And I was like, good point. Point well taken, right? I mean, that's actually a lot easier and costs a lot less money, but you know, if you have a daughter and she wants her hair long, which is normal, like having long hair, she wants braids, you fight with that a lot. That's the other issue, is that your child wants to have long hair and, you know, sees everything around her. So that's another fight. It's not just the actual physically doing the hair that's hard. It's, you know, teaching a little girl who's surrounded by all this hair to tell her your hair is too short, or it's cute in these little tiny braids or something. Difference. I mean, I'm not sure what it's like in Montreal, but in the United States, we have a lot of salons. You have products on the shelves that are catered to. I mean, when I was 20, if I tried to comb my hair, I would break a comb. But now there are products, I mean, I've broken combs, but now there are really great products that I can put in my hair and, you know, comb it out, and I'm shocked because I was brought up to believe that my hair was unmanageable, that you could not comb my hair. And so when these products came out, again, it felt like religion. I was like, I called my mom. I was like, you were wrong. You lied to me all these years. Like, you can comb my hair. Like, put all, you know, so that is different. So a lot of times when people say, I can't do my daughter's hair, I do want to challenge them and say, have you tried all these new products? It really makes a difference because, again, for so long we were uneducated about our own real hair because nobody bothered to have real hair. They all had relaxed hair.
And with the product goes the techniques as well, like how to do the hair.
Right. There's a whole, it's not what you were taught. It's not what you do with straight hair. It's totally different. So we have to get educated about that, but I won't allow, it takes time. It definitely takes time. That is no doubt about it. But you can also do styles that, you know, again, you can do them once and leave them in for a week as opposed to doing them every day. So there can be a give and take. But I do recognize that, you know, if your life is busy, if you're working and you don't have time or you're on camera, you might just be like, I'm gonna wear a wig and do my real thing on my own, but in front of the camera, I don't have time to make myself picture perfect with natural hair. That's like wearing a hard hat to a construction site. You're gonna put your hard hat on. You're gonna wear your wig. I know plenty of women in corporate America who have locks, who have twists, who have short little hairstyles that would be distracting to the rest of their workers. They put a wig on. They leave the wig in the office. They put that on like a hard hat. Be about their business.
Leave the wig in the office. That's amazing.
It's true. I mean, and there's even a male airline host in France who had dreadlocks, he had twists, beginning locks, and Air France told him that was not acceptable, and he would lose his job, so he put a wig on and said, fine, you know, when I'm up in the air, I'll fly with a wig, I don't care. It's part of my uniform. But that's where we are now, is that for a lot of corporations, natural hair is distracting, but if it's your choice, you know, there's a lot you can do. You can wear a wig, you can wear a weave, you can get a new job if that's possible. I mean, I don't think that people should have to choose between their job and their hair, but if you have to, you have to.